Okay, so I am absolutely one of those people that believe that when things go wrong, there is always a lesson to learn. It's like either you win or you grow. But I had a situation where I absolutely failed. And no matter how long I thought about it, no matter how much I replayed it, there was like no lesson to learn from this failure whatsoever. And I know all about failure. I've done a TEDx talk, but the first time I got on stage, I'd written the whole thing out. I ended up mumbling for 3 minutes straight. I just ran off the stage, complete failure. And even though now our company has had over 600 CEO clients, I did 21,000 proposals to get those clients. So over 20,000 times I completely failed. So I'm an expert on failure. Well, let me tell you what happened. Okay, so this client I had worked with on two separate businesses. We were aligned on values, we were aligned on outcomes. We absolutely loved working together. Well, he got a wonderful opportunity to work with this great global brand, and he was in charge of all of Europe and most of Asia, and we did great work together. Now, the family company that started this brand was based in Germany. And when they had their kind of annual everyone get together meeting, he said, "Hey, AMG, I'd love for you to be able to come in as a special guest, Zoom meeting in, kind of motivate everyone and tell them how we got the results we got and take some questions from them and some answers." So, first of all, this was not a paid interaction. We just had a great relationship. And he's like, "Can you get on Zoom for 15 minutes, talk to the whole company and kind of motivate them around the values?" I said, "Of course." And so I did. It was wonderful. I talked about the potential of the company, the value of the company, how to engage customers, not around what you thought was important, but about the experience that they had. It was wonderful. A plus. Then we got to the question and answer section. This is what I didn't know. This was a family run company that was doing sort of a weekend long assembly with all of the different employees and leaders. And there had been a pretty big argument, a pretty big divide that was happening in the company between the founder's children, who had a lot of power. Even though they were a bit younger, they were going to take over this multi-billion-dollar company, and between the marketing arm of the company, where the marketing arm was saying, "Hey, we're a B2B company, we're vertically integrated. We absolutely need to make sure that the corporate clients that we have, the business clients we have, they understand the value in terms they can understand, which is profit, loss, turnover, opportunity cost, lifetime value per customer, all of that stuff." But the younger siblings of the founder were more concerned on talking about the quality of the beverage and how important the history of it was, sort of things that would matter to maybe a consumer or matter maybe to marketing, but not so much to B2B sales. And so the first question was from the founder's son, and he was like, "How important is it that we have a website that talks about all of the wonderful aromas and scents that come out of our beverage?" And I'm like, "It's not important at all." And you saw kind of the majority of the people in the room, like 90%. So like 200 people were kind of like, "Yes." But three people were not impressed: the owner, his daughter, and his son. And they got really fiery and it turned into an argument. And I didn't realize what I was walking into, but I stood on business and I said, "Hey, look, what we need to focus on is, do we understand the unique needs of these businesses, the floor plan that they have, this counter space that they have, their turnover?" Like, it was so important that we understand our clients if we're a supplier. And basically, my client was like, "Well, AMG, good to hear from you. Goodbye." So when I hung up, there was a really bad kind of energy in the room. The room was divided. And I felt bad because I was brought in to motivate them, but I just told the truth and it ended up not working out for me. That client never talked to me again. He never thanked me for that engagement. And for the next couple days, like I really took it hard. Like I was really like, what could I have done differently? Like, what should I have said differently? How could I have prepared differently? Then I went to the other extreme and I said, "I'm never doing anything like this again. I didn't get paid. I was just helping out people. I'm never doing this again." But as I thought about it more and more, the only possible thing I could do is let it go and move on. I am going to say yes to situations where clients are great. I feel like I can add value. And I'm not going to charge if it's just 15 minutes where I can, really help them along. And on the other side, I'm not going to avoid taking questions from an audience because there might be an internal struggle. So even though I was really upset and I really wanted I wanted a lesson, I wanted to know what I should do differently. I needed to let it go and move on. So someone might say that is the lesson. No, that's not a lesson. A lesson is that once I am aware of something, I now will act differently or I have the opportunity to act differently in the future. So if I stub my toe coming around that corner, when I come around the corner again, at least I have the knowledge that maybe I should not walk that same path, or that's the lesson. Whether I implement the lesson or not is up to me. But in this situation, there was no lesson. I'm not going to do anything differently. I'm not going to say no to something that I said yes to, or say yes that I said something that I said no to. All I needed to do was let it go and move on. So the conclusion that I came to is as long as you're doing hard things that are aligned with your values, whether you fall, whether you rise, whether you completely crumble, just get back up and keep going. Sometimes there's nothing else to do but keep going. What do you think?